This is an iHeart podcast.
The Girlfriends is back with a new season, and this time I'm telling you the story of Kelly Harnett. Kelly spent over a decade in prison for a murder she says she didn't commit. As she fought for her freedom, she taught herself the law.
He goes, "Oh God, Harnett, jailhouse lawyer."
And became a beacon of hope for the women locked up alongside her.
You're supposed to have your faith in God, but I had nothing but faith in her.
I think I was put here to save souls by getting people out of prison.
The Girlfriends, Jailhouse Lawyer. Listen on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Ian Pfaff, the creator and host of the Uncle Chris podcast. My Uncle Chris was a real character, a garbage truck driver from South Carolina who is now buried in Panama City alongside the founding families of Panama. He also happens to be responsible for the craziest night of my life. Wild stories about adventure, romance, crime, history, and war intertwine as I share the tall tales and hard truths that have helped me understand Uncle Chris. Listen now to Uncle Chris on Will Ferrell's Big Money Players Network on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Just like great shoes, great books take you places. Through unforgettable love stories and into conversations with characters you'll never forget.
I think any good romance, it gives me this feeling of like butterflies.
I'm Danielle Robay, and this is Bookmarked by Reese's Book Club, the new podcast from Hello Sunshine and iHeart Podcasts, where we dive into the stories that shape us on the page and off. Each week, I'm joined by authors, celebs, book talk stars, and more for conversations that will make you laugh, cry, and add way too many books to your TBR pile. Listen to Bookmarked by Reese's Book Club on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Join iHeartRadio and Sarah Spain in celebrating the one-year anniversary of iHeart Women's Sports.
With powerful interviews and insider analysis, our shows have connected fans with the heart of women's sports. In just 1 year, the network has launched 15 shows and built a community united by passion.
Podcasts that amplify the voices of women in sports.
Thank you for supporting iHeart Women's Sports and our founding sponsors, Elf Beauty, Capital One, and Novartis.
Just open the free iHeart app and search iHeart Women's Sports to listen now.
So what happened at Chappaquiddick? Well, it really depends on who you talk to.
There are many versions of what happened in 1969 when a young Ted Kennedy drove a car into a pond
and left a woman behind to drown.
Chappaquiddick is a story of a tragic death and how the Kennedy machine took control. Every week, we go behind the headlines and beyond the drama of America's royal family.
Listen to United States of Kennedys on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, guys, it is time now for today's Strawberry Letter. And if you need advice on relationships, dating, work, sex, parenting, and more, please submit your Strawberry Letter to SteveHarveyFM.com and click Submit Strawberry Letter. We could be reading your letter live on the air, just like we're going to read this one right here, right now. And you never know, it could be yours.
Buckle up and hold on tight. We got it for you. Here it is, the Strawberry Letter.
Thank you, nephew. Subject: she's too phony and bony now. Dear Steve and Shirley, I've been married for 4 years to the love of my life. When we met, she had just had a handsome baby boy, and we bonded over us both being heartbroken. I was engaged to a self-centered woman before I met my wife, and 2 weeks before our wedding, she ghosted me. My wife had been dating a man for a long time, and when she got pregnant, he ghosted her. We were two damaged friends that became lovers. I have raised her son as my own and loved her through her weight challenges. I know she was bigger when we met because she just had a baby. I knew she was bigger because she just had a baby. When she was still overweight a year later, we started eating healthier, and I encouraged her to lose weight. We got a trainer, and she went and got a breast reduction. When the weight came off, she got a lot of new clothes, and she let her hair grow, and she got a perm. It was like her attitude changed overnight, and she was very uppity all of a sudden. I suggested she ease up on working out because she lost all of her curves. She started hanging out with her trainer and the trainer's friends, who are all skinny, single, airheads that drink a lot and like to be in the streets. My wife started wearing emerald contacts, and she wants some kind of cosmetic procedure on her chin. Our son will be 5 in 2 months, and she wants to rent a venue for his party party because she said my house is not adequate enough. She puts her tiny little butt in lingerie before sex, and her moans sound so phony, like we're in a porno. I can't keep up with the new woman she has become, and I hope she doesn't tell me that I'm not enough for her. How do I get my juicy, down-to-earth wife back? Well, honestly, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think you're going to get her back. I think, and the problem is you're afraid that you can't keep up with this new woman she has become. And I think she's gone for good. And you just basically told us why, because she's changed on the outside. You said she got a breast reduction. She lost all her curves. She's wearing emerald contacts now. But I really think it's the inside change that's bothering you the most, because she has new friends now. She hangs out with her trainer and his people. They like to drink and they're from the streets, you say. And although you were very supportive in the beginning, about her weight loss and all of that, getting a trainer and all of that, eating healthier, that broken girl that you bonded with a few years back, that girl is no longer interested in being a good wife, it seems. She's trying to live her best life right now after conquering her weight issues. And this is who she really is. You need to get used to this. This is who this person really is. She's skinny now, all of that. She got her priorities mixed up. They're all out of order now because she's trying to find herself and she's losing you. I mean, doesn't she realize that she could have it both? She could have a good family, a good marriage. She could have a good life, and she could still have a good toned body. And all of a sudden, your house isn't good enough for a 5-year-old's birthday party. I mean, the 5-year-old doesn't care about that. He just wants to party with his little friends. I say you gotta talk to her. It might be too late, but you gotta try to reason with her, because I think it's not over until it's over. I mean, I can't speak on her fake moaning, because if she is faking it, that may be the real reason she's checked out. I mean, that's what's got you so scared. You got to try and sit down and figure this whole situation out with her. But I do think part of her is gone for good. You'll never get that back. Steve?
Okay, look, you all bonded out of mutual hurt. But I think the relationship started in a genuine fashion, seems like. Now, when you all had this baby and she was still overweight a year later. Now, let's talk about this for a second. That's that baby weight, man. It's hard to get rid of. It really, really is. I hear a lot of women talk about the struggles of baby weight. And you got to understand that there are women that's dealing with baby weight 13 years afterwards. I mean,
Yes,
and
Lord.
Who am I to say that should have gotten rid of it by now? Because I look at my stomach and I think I should have gotten rid of it by now. But it don't go away like I wanted to. So this is a weight issue. This whole thing is about weight and attitude. This whole thing. Mm-hmm. Y'all started eating healthier and you encouraged her to lose weight. She got a trainer. She went and got a breast reduction. So she just started taking everything down. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take this weight down. I'm going to get rid of these breasts, all this here. The weight came off. She bought a lot of new clothes. She let her hair grow and she got a perm. Now, I'm just really basing on these new changes that you're telling me. I just want to deal with what was it we was dealing with originally.
Here you go.
Because you done cut everything. So it just makes me, when the weight, she got a breast reduction.
Yeah.
When the weight came off, she got a lot of new clothes and she let her hair grow and got a perm. Lord Jesus, what was going on?
Before?
So, before the breast reduction, before the weight loss, before she grew her hair, and before the perm, and before the emerald eye contacts,
Hold
Lord
on.
Jesus, who was you staying with?
Don't forget the emerald contacts.
I said that just now.
Yeah. All right, here we go. When we come back, we'll have part 2 of Steve's response at 23 minutes after the hour. You definitely don't want to miss it. Today's Strawberry Letter subject is she's too phony and bony now. We'll get back into it right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
So what happened at Chappaquiddick? Well, it really depends on who you talk to.
There are many versions of what happened in 1969 when a young Ted Kennedy drove a car into a pond.
And left a woman behind to drown.
There's the famous headline, I think in the New York Daily News, it's Teddy escapes, blonde drowns. And in a strange way, right, that sort of tells you the story really became about Ted's political future, Ted's political hopes. Will Ted become president?
Chappaquiddick is a story of a tragic death and how the Kennedy machine took control.
And he's not the only Kennedy to survive a scandal.
The Kennedys have lived through disgrace, affairs, violence, you name it. So is there a curse? Every week we go behind the headlines and beyond the drama of America's royal family.
Listen to United States of Kennedy on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
American history is full of wise people.
Walt Whitman said something like, 99.99% of war is diarrhea and 1% is glory.
Those founding fathers were gossipy AF, and they loved to cut each other down.
I'm Bob Crawford, host of American History Hotline, the show where you send us your questions about American history, and I find the answers, including the nuggets of wisdom our history has to offer.
Hamilton pauses, and then he says, the greatest man that ever lived was Julius Caesar. And Jefferson writes in his diary, this proves that Hamilton is for a dictator based on corruption.
My favorite line was what Neil Armstrong said. It would have been harder to fake it than to do it.
Listen to American History Hotline on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Check out Behind the Flow, a podcast documentary series following the launch of San Diego Football Club. We go behind the scenes and explore the stories of those involved.
San Diego coming to MLS is going to be a game changer because this region has been hungry for a men's professional soccer team.
We need veteran players and we need young players. Like, you're building a team from scratch. And so the succession plan of long-term success needs to be defined. We need to embrace this community.
When I was 13, my uncle took me to a qualifier and we watched Paraguay against Chile, pouring rain, just watching the fans jumping up and down. I think that was definitely a watershed moment for me. Not only was that going to be my game, but it was going to be my life.
Listen to San Diego FC Behind the Flow, now on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Show me how good it can get today, God, and show the rest of the world what we already know. It can't get no better than being hella black, hella queer, and hella Christian. My name is Joseph Reeves. I am the creator and host of Hella Black, Hella Queer, Hella Christian, a fully black, fully queer, fully human, fully divine podcast that explores society, culture, and the intersections of faith and identity. Listen to Hella Black, Hella Queer, Hella Christian to hear conversations about what it means to sound the way you look.
I think what I've had to make peace with is that every iteration of my voice is given to me by God, and I love it.
Books that validated our identity.
The library now for me is a safe space as someone who is writing books that they're trying to take off of shelves.
And how we as black queer folks relate to our Christianity. Listen to Hella Black, Hella Queer, Hella Christian on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello, this is Ruthie Rogers, host of Ruthie's Table 4.
Ali called me the stray dog because I would always turn up at my mate's house at mealtimes.
This week, I'm talking to Bono.
All of my ideas about social justice, or rather the lack of it, came from my father too. People have to have health, housing, and education drilled into me and his values.
Listen to Ruthie's Table 4 on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, this is Shirley Strawberry, and I'm partnering with Aleve. Let me tell you, it couldn't have come at a better time. I moved some furniture around last weekend in my new place. It turns out that was a really bad idea because all that bending and lifting and pretending I'm still 25 didn't agree with my knees. So I grabbed Aleve because when my body pain shows up, I need something that lasts. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches and pains hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed. right, come on, Steve. Let's recap today's Strawberry Letter. The subject is, she's too phony and bony now.
Well, this was a letter about a man and woman who met, who had mutual pain, but they were there for each other. And both of them got ghosted. One after she got pregnant, the other one, the guy got ghosted 2 weeks before his wedding. They met each other. They were friends. They two damaged friends that became lovers was his description. You've raised a son like your own. You've loved her through her weight challenges. Now, you said in the letter, I knew she was bigger when we met because she just had a baby. When she was still overweight a year later, then y'all started eating healthy and you encouraged her to lose her weight. I'm assuming we started because you was kind of, big boy yourself a little bit. Then got a trainer now here was the problem I'm listening to everything she's done. And I want to just see what were we dealing with before all this. So these is the changes. She got a trainer and got a breast reduction. So that's the first thing she got. Cause then you said when the weight came off, she got really new clothes. So she got the breast reduction done first. That was probably so she could do the workouts.
What?
I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. Based on this letter right here. If I was an ignorant person reading this letter, and I do have a tendency to be ignorant at times.
Oh, yes, really? Check.
She was overweight a year later. We started eating healthy. We got a trainer. She went and got a breast reduction. I'm assuming that these exercises without the breast reduction was a bit much. She was getting hit in the mouth a lot. Maybe even
not with you.
Jumped and knocked herself out. Couldn't see the flow. Doing the little ladder drills on the floor and couldn't see the flow because the breast was in the way. I don't know what. But to do these exercises, she had to get this breast reduction. Then when the weight come off, she got a lot of clothes. Mm-hmm. Then she let her hair grow and got a perm. So before this, it wasn't no hair and it wasn't no perm. I'm just basing this on that. Then her attitude changed and she started, wearing emerald contacts. You got to be careful with the emerald contact because they got to match your skin tone. You just can't want green eyes and be any shade now. Some of this we borderline scary now. We looking like children of the corn and stuff like this now. Like really, really fair complected people can't get emerald eyes, and real dark people can't get emerald eyes. You can't go in the extreme. You got to be somewhere in the middle. You got to be like a different color to get emerald eyes. Then you said she wanted some kind of cosmetic surgery on her chin. Well, her chin was probably damaged from her breast. A lot of this goes hand in hand in this letter right here. I'm not going to be able to help this couple out. I can see that right now.
Obviously
so let's just find the joy out of this letter. Because after this breast reduction, now for the first time, she's seeing her chin. Now she got to get something done because them breasts was all up under her throat. Then she had her cleavage started. Her cleavage was so big, some people thought she had a cleft in her chin. It was actually her breast. So now once she got that cleavage reduced, she found out it wasn't a cleft in her chin. Then the son gonna be 5 in 2 months and she want to rent a venue cause the house ain't adequate enough for the 5-year-old party cause she want to flex in front of her little skinny friends and trainer friends. Then she puts on a little tiny butt in lingerie before sex and her moans sound so phony like we in a porno. And you just can't keep up with this woman she become. I hope she don't tell me that I'm not enough for her. How do I get my juicy, down-to-earth wife back? She could be gone with all this chin work, weight reduction, and then took the breasts off. You just can't go packing that back home. But we're going to have to start, though. The only way we're going to get Big Juicy back is we got to start with food. We got to get these calories up. This I can help you with. I can't help you with losing weight, but I can sure know how to pack it up. Bread is very important. And not just bread alone, but you got to put something on the bread. It's got to be butter or jam, or stuff like that. You don't just eat the bread by itself, because we got to get Big Juicy back. That's what you want. You want Big Juicy down to earth, and she was down to earth because she couldn't get off the earth. You understand? So big people is gonna be more grounded because they are very rarely ever airborne. So there you gonna have these moments like this here. So to get Big Juicy back, we got to start with bread. We need to go to the grocery store and buy that big bag of potatoes, the one you ain't bought in a while. That's paper, but it's got the little mesh on the front so you can see that they is potatoes. And then you need to go down there at the bottom row.
They are potatoes.
The bottom row of that aisle and get that big bag of rice, the one that you can't hold in one hand.
Bag of rice, you got
we need
starch and carbs.
It's on the bottom row. It's the big bags is on the bottom row.
All right, listen.
When she get that chin done. She get that chin done. You ain't gonna be able to talk to her. I can tell you.
Post your comments on today's Strawberry Letter at Steve Harvey on Instagram and Facebook. Check out the Strawberry Letter podcast on demand.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
The Girlfriends is back with a new season, and this time I'm telling you the story of Kelly Harnett. Kelly spent over a decade in prison for a murder she says she didn't commit. As she fought for her freedom, she taught herself the law.
He goes, oh God, Harnett, jailhouse lawyer.
And became a beacon of hope for the women locked up alongside her.
You're supposed to have your faith in God, but I had nothing but faith in her.
I think I was put here to save souls by getting people out of prison.
The Girlfriends, Jailhouse Lawyer. Listen on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Ian Pfaff, the creator and host of the Uncle Chris podcast. My Uncle Chris was a real character, a garbage truck driver from South Carolina who is now buried in Panama City alongside the founding families of Panama. He also happens to be responsible for the craziest night of my life. Wild stories about adventure, romance, crime, history, and war intertwine as I share the tall tales and hard truths that have helped me understand Uncle Chris. Listen now to Uncle Chris on Will Ferrell's Big Money Players Network on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Just like great shoes, great books take you places. Through unforgettable love stories and into conversations with characters you'll never forget.
I think any good romance, it gives me this feeling of like butterflies.
I'm Danielle Robay, and this is Bookmarked by Reese's Book Club, the new podcast from Hello Sunshine and iHeart Podcasts, where we dive into the stories that shape us on the page and off. Each week, I'm joined by authors, celebs, book talk stars, and more for conversations that will make you laugh, cry, and add way too many books to your TBR pile. Listen to Bookmarked by Reese's Book Club on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Join iHeartRadio and Sarah Spain in celebrating the 1-year anniversary of iHeart Women's Sports.
With powerful interviews and insider analysis, our shows have connected fans with the heart of women's sports. In just 1 year, the network has launched 15 shows and built a community united by passion.
Podcasts that amplify the voices of women in sports.
Thank you for supporting iHeart Women's Sports and our founding sponsors, Elf Beauty, Capital One, and Novartis.
Just open the free iHeart app and search iHeart Women's Sports to listen now.
So what happened at Chappaquiddick? Well, it really depends on who you talk to.
There are many versions of what happened in 1969 when a young Ted Kennedy drove a car into a pond
and left a woman behind to drown.
Chappaquiddick is a story of a tragic death and how the Kennedy machine took control. Every week, we go behind the headlines and beyond the drama of America's royal family.
Listen to United States of Kennedys on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is an iHeart podcast.